All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Clinton,
I'm Debbie.
and welcome back to Through the Cow, our new podcast. Yeah, just reaching out there, trying to get it going. Obviously, we used to shoot a couple of years ago, and now we're back, teaming up again to talk about things that we love. So, how you been? You been all right?
Yeah, been a good week. Work was busy, but I like that. Makes it go quicker. I'm kind of one of those people that needs that certain level of
Yeah,
busyness and
yeah,
stress
of course.
to optimize my organization and productivity. So, yes, I'm very glad that I luckily have that within my role. So, yeah, be
Good
nice. And I went
stuff.
out for a free dinner and drinks last night at Cozy Club in Bournemouth.
Well, I suppose
Um,
when it's free, it always tastes better.
Oh my
So,
God, it was so nice. And we were like, what's the catch? Like, is some of it free? And she was like, no, it's literally free dinner and drinks, like all night. And you could even have champagne, but that was the only thing that had a little limit on it.
okay.
We didn't have any champagne, but even so. And then we got little goodie bags at the end.
Oh,
So it
amazing.
was
So,
yeah, it was for local businesses. So I think they'd had a bit of a refurb, and
okay,
they'd invited a lot of local businesses. And I work at I don't
somewhere.
so Alpha Menswear is my friend Jeremy's shop.
Okay.
And him and his partner work there, and his dad, I believe. Really cool menswear. So opposite the Pavilion on Westover Road.
Oh, yeah, another one.
Yes, so we had a wonderful time. It was lovely. What about you?
Amazing. This week, running around back and forth to London, you know, training the clients, trying to get them into superhero shape,
Yeah.
which which was usual, like you said, have to keep a certain level of stress to keep you going. And for me, it keeps me healthy because as soon as I sort of slow down, that's when I sort of go downhill. So
I would just blanket and sofa and then
yeah.
just oh, I've not left the house before.
So getting up at 4 a.m. This week it was a bit rainy, so when I got on the motorbike and it was shot straight to London, it was pretty intense. Luckily, I got my wet weather gear and I
Did you
I was
instill Ghost Rider into yourself?
of course. I wish I had some like flames around me because it was pretty cold and like when the rain gets you, it does make you like shrivel up a little bit.
In many ways.
In many ways. All right, I thought today we'll start off with I'll say it's a little bit of a game, but I thought I was gonna message my brother and I decided to ask him if he could send us the name of like a beloved actor,
Mhm.
and what we could do is give our top three movies of theirs.
Oh,
So
okay. Can my
uh,
sister give us one for next time?
yeah, I think so. That'd be cool because your
Who
sister's
did
a
you
movie
pick?
lover, my brother's a movie lover. My brother chose Adam Sandler.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
Oh,
I
plenty to
think I've
choose
got
from then.
Yeah, I think I've got a bit of his catalog in my head. I know one of his movies, which is obviously one of my favorites, anyways, in my top 10. Um, so I know I'd go with that. And
I wonder if we'll pick the same.
yeah, I wonder. So I think obviously sometimes I'm guessing we might get thrown off. They might throw a curveball in there. So I think we should be able to use our phones to go in the IMDb and sort of get their catalog if we need to.
Yeah,
But I'm sure we'll know most actors anyway. We're pretty like well versed in pop culture.
we love our movies.
Exact, exactly.
We've seen all of them.
Yeah.
The only thing with my sister is that horrors are her favorite, and I hate
Okay. Yeah.
them. So, but I'm
So
sure she won't pick her favorite horror actor. Not that there is one, but yeah.
yeah. But I can think of like I'm already worried because I can think of a few actors that I will struggle to get top three because I love
Great.
so many of their films. And then say I ever meet them and they were like, well, you missed out this one. I'm like, I'm sorry, like
So
you
sorry.
have a great catalog. I'm sorry. But we're cool if the guys at home can also like play along and let us know what their top three of this each actor is or actress, or should I just say actors
I don't
in,
mind.
in today's market. So today we'll start off. I'll put like somewhere on the screen what we're doing, but right now we're going to go for top three Adam Sandler movies. I'll let you go first.
Okay,
Or
so
should we go like 3, 2, 1? You say one and I say one. It's up to you.
yeah, okay. So number 3,
Yeah,
Happy Gilmore.
very good.
Mhm.
Very good. Serious classic. Like
Tap it in.
just
Tap,
tap.
Oh,
Although with Happy Gilmore, it is a shame that Carl Weathers passed away recently, didn't
I
he?
know, I know. I think that hit everybody. Like, you know, yeah, I definitely had quite a few messages like, "Oh, have you seen?"
Yeah, it's
Um,
like it's insane because obviously Carl Weathers was in some of my favorite movies. He was in Predator.
mhm,
He was in
of
Rocky.
course.
He was the great Apollo Creed. So and
Lando
obviously
Calrissian.
yeah, so he's obviously spawned, and obviously because of him, there's the Creed series that's now going on at the moment because Adonis Creed is supposed to be Apollo Creed's son. So at least
The
see, depending on how many more of
beautiful
those films come
Michael
out,
B. Jordan.
they can continue his legacy, so to speak.
He will. I'll just
Yeah,
mention Michael B. Jordan again.
of course.
Obviously part owner in the AFC Bournemouth, the Cherries, but we'll get into that
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
So am I doing my number 2 or are you doing your number 3?
I'll do my number 3.
Okay.
So I would say, oh, number 3 is going to be The Longest Yard.
Yes. Yes. Okay. That's not
I
in my top 3, but I really like
Okay,
that
cool,
version. I
cool.
really like that version.
Yeah, because if there's been so many, there was like obviously the original with Burt Reynolds,
Yeah.
which was cool. Not as much comedy as this one.
Yeah.
And
This
then
one still had the sadness though.
yeah. Oh, of Caretaker, of course.
Bloody light
Um,
bulb.
what was it? There was no, I remember Vinnie Jones did one. His one was something. The meme was it Meme Machine? His one was called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Vinnie Jones had one based on like it was the same character, but they were playing football in prison instead of like
Ah, okay.
obviously
Yeah.
English football, not American football. And then but yeah, I think number 3 for me would be
It's a good one.
The Longest
Yeah.
Yard. Absolutely hilarious. Cheeseburger Eddie. Look at these cheeses. Cheeseburger.
So my
All right.
number 2 would be Hustle,
Oh yeah, that's a good movie because
right?
it's very strange how the last few years how he started doing more serious roles.
I think he's better. I actually think he's
Yeah,
better. Like he's one of those actors that I think's improved like with age.
yeah,
Well, I'm sure they all do, but I absolutely love a sports movie. Okay. You can Coach Carter me, you can McFarland me, you can
yeah,
Moneyball me. I'm there. I'm there
yeah,
for it. Okay. I absolutely love it. And he produced it with LeBron, like
yeah,
proper, basketball person.
yeah.
And he's a
Well,
massive basketball fan,
he's a
right?
massive basketball player. I saw
Yeah.
recently he was in the UK, in London, in Kensington, and some kid posted on social media that Adam Sandler was playing like a pickup basketball game, which he does a lot in the US, but he's here in the UK and he was just doing that. I was like,
Hey, oh, that's so cool.
yeah, that'd
Yeah,
be
so I do
insane.
love that. I love that it was a bit more serious. I'm heart-wrenched with sports movies, so
Yeah.
yeah, love it.
All right. So number 2 for me. Now it could go two ways because there's two. I don't know if I could do honorable mentions, but obviously I do love the films, the grown-ups movies.
Oh yes, yeah, yeah.
But in this on this situation, I'm gonna have to do top 3. I might have to bump grown-ups for Big Daddy.
Yes. It is very sweet actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
there's a real sweetness, as well as the comedy, there's a real sweetness to that movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want to call yourself? What's your name? Frankenstein? Okay, we'll call you Frankenstein.
It was
What
one
do you
of
want
the
to eat?
little brothers, wasn't it?
Yeah, one of those ones. Zach and Cody. I don't know if that's a real names
Yeah.
or
Forget
yeah,
their
yeah. What do you
yeah,
want to
one
eat?
was in Riverdale.
Yeah. What do you want to eat? 30 packets of ketchup.
Okay. Yes. Okay. And
And
my
then
number one,
yeah,
and it is a comedy.
yeah,
I absolutely love it, and I could watch it over and over again, even though I have not watched it for a long time.
yeah.
The Wedding Singer.
Oh, what a classic.
Hmm.
What a
Hmm.
classic.
So good.
So hilarious.
And so sweet, and just the 80s vibe and all
Yeah.
of the music and all the outfits and the hair.
Yeah.
Oh, it's perfect. Yeah, I love it.
I do love that film as well. It's funny, we haven't
I was
matched
so
any.
hoping you weren't going to say it. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
oh, it'd be mine.
We haven't matched any of the top three. Uh, my last one. This one's in my top 10 movies. I don't know why I love it. Maybe because of, I have a bit of a blended family. We've obviously got stepkids and so forth.
Mhm.
It is the film Blended.
Oh, okay.
It is him and Drew Barrymore,
Oh,
and they
again.
sort of and they sort of
Again.
combine families. Like at first they hate each other, and
Mm-mm.
then they sort of like gel and become this unit. And for some reason, the comedy in it is
Uh-uh.
absolutely hilarious. All his same sort of friends pop up in it in areas. Terry Crews is in it. You know what I mean?
Gotta love Big Tez.
Yeah, I absolutely love that film. It's so funny.
Oh, how nice that I mean, these guys are real besties, right? Because they
Yeah,
weren't they in 50 First
51st
Dates
Dates.
as well?
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't even think about that one. That's also a lovely film.
yeah.
Um,
So there's plenty of, but I think yeah, that's a good one for my brother. I think Adam Sandler's pretty cool.
Lots to
We
choose from.
lots to
Either
choose
the
from.
classic comedy that he does, or there's just been some really decent, fun watches, hasn't there? The one with
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston when they went on
Uh,
holiday,
was it
marriage,
something
divorce.
Friends? Yeah, yeah, Friends of
Yeah.
I can't remember the name, but yeah, that one's great. I don't want them to match up. I like the murder mystery ones as well that they've done.
Yeah,
First one was better than the second one, but I do enjoy those.
me too. That was a good pick.
Yeah.
And
So
interesting that we didn't cross over. Just goes to show how different people's,
yeah,
likes
well,
are.
well done, bro, for that question. I think next week we'll get your sister to send us one. All right. So what we've been watching this week?
Oh, so I was out a couple of times this week after work, so I didn't
Yeah.
have too much time. But I have been watching a South African lady, Mickey Pistorius,
Yeah.
in her true life review of herself as a serial killer profiler.
Yeah.
So I think it's called Catch Me a Killer.
Okay.
Um, and so it's from when she first started. And she used to
Yeah.
be she used to be a teacher, I think in a university, and would talk about that sort of thing and pathology and the psychology of it all.
Yeah.
And then because in South Africa they didn't have profilers, it was just like in America with the
Okay.
FBI at that time. We're talking back like 80s and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sort of her rise to fame with it, and how some detectives were so against it,
Okay.
especially as a female coming in, and they were
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what is this? This is all like, there's no science to this. And luckily there were some men within those detective units that were like, look, we've got nothing,
Yeah.
we've been trying, let's think outside the box, let's use something different. And
Yeah.
it did go to show how helpful it can be and why they use it today.
Okay.
um
Did you say her name was Pistorius?
yeah, so yeah, Pistorius, so which is
So,
obviously a South African, we know what's his face, don't we,
yeah.
that killed his
Old,
miss.
old Oscar. When you said that
Yeah.
name, I was thinking, any relation? Like, did she not? No, I was
I
thinking, is she his
don't
mom?
believe
Like, did she not know that he was a?
so. I know, it's the only Pistorius that I knew, which is why I
Yeah.
was like, oh, what's this to do with? I did think, is it about him and the killing that he did, supposedly?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he went to jail for it, right? So we were
Yeah.
allowed to say that he was convicted.
Yeah. There's no mystery
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I think we're okay. So yeah, just been watching that. I've been told, I think we did mention it last week, The Gentleman.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps telling me that it's a really good series, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's what I've heard. People have been telling me that it's good. Am I gonna watch it? I'll give it a go.
yeah.
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
sure
try
yet.
it this weekend, so I'll let
Yeah.
you know next week.
Yeah. If I should give it a
If
go
it's worth it, yeah.
because for some reason I've started Rick and Morty this week
For the first time ever.
for the first time ever. I tried it a little while ago, and then I keep
So
hearing people. I keep hearing like good reviews about it, and then obviously I'm such a big fan of like say South Park,
Mm,
Family Guy, American Dad,
yeah.
but that sort of thing. And so I'm just obviously I'm like maybe 4 episodes in. I'm
Oh, you've
still trying.
got
I'm still
plenty to
trying to.
go then.
Yeah, I'm still trying to decide if I do like it because the episodes are quite. They make you think, which is quite cool.
Hmm. He's just pretty gross, I think.
He
Like
is
he's
very
probably a
gross.
bit gross.
Like
One of
he's got.
my only memories, and I've watched a few, but one of my only memories, I was really ill. I was actually ended up in hospital with tonsillitis. My temperature went so high.
Yeah,
And so I stayed in for a few hours and they gave me the drip and stuff and really strong antibiotics and they sent me home.
yeah.
For some reason. And so my temperature spiked again during the night, but I'd been watching like Rick and Morty to fall asleep to. It's just like, I don't think this is the best thing.
Yeah.
Literally, like a bit delirious.
I don't know if that works because he's super strange.
It's so odd. And he's all like sicky and
Yeah, and
stuff.
what's that weird burping thing he does?
Yeah. But I know people that absolutely love it.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah,
Maybe you'll get into it.
because it was either that or people been telling me about something called Bob's Burgers. But
Oh my God, Bob's Burgers is amazing. You have to do Bob's Burgers.
okay,
So good.
so I'll finish this. I'll push my way through Brick and Morty.
Yeah, at least do a
And
first whole season.
yeah, 'cause I
And
think
have
now
you
with certain things you do need to at least give if there's more than one season, you've got to at least give it the first season and maybe
yeah,
try the second to sort of get a full grip of like if it's really good or
who
not.
they are and what they're doing. Yeah, definitely. Have you ever done Archer as an animation?
No, I have seen Archer. I have seen bits of Archer in regards to
Genius.
it popping up,
Genius.
but I can't remember. It is linked to, or it has the same director as another show, doesn't it?
So the
Um,
guy who voices Archer is the guy who voices Bob's Burgers. The main
okay,
guy, Bob. Yeah.
yeah,
So I have a little soft spot because I watched Archer first and loved it.
yeah.
Oh my God, I used to fall asleep watching it. It was so funny. And then I found out that he did the thing for that. So yeah, both. Do both.
All right, cool. Yeah, let me concentrate on this. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've been mixing into it. No, not yet. So I've just I'm sticking to Rick and Morty for now,
Yeah.
and then although this weekend I will be watching June 2. I know you've seen it
Oh,
already.
excellent.
I'm gonna give it a go and see how it compares to the number one. Really,
When did you do number one?
I did it on Thursday, I believe.
Oh, good. And you
Yeah, I
liked
thought
it?
I did. It was like it reminded me of. It was like a mixture. It seemed like a mixture of things like culminated together. It reminded me a little bit like Matrix. It reminded me of like
Because they're
a little
little
bit,
things that they have, they're little
yeah,
projector suits. Yeah.
like Starship Troopers for some reason. It just had a mix that what else did it? It sort of had a mix of yeah, it just sort of blended like, a bunch of different films or shows together. And then also Tremors. It reminded me of Tremors a little bit as well.
Yeah, that's good.
There was a point in the first one, I'm sure everyone's seen it, it's been up for years, where they were getting chased by one of the worms and they were running towards the rocks. And I thought, is it going to do that thing like in Tremors where it crashed into the rocks and just sort of died? But
It's clever
these,
at that.
yeah, these worms could probably eat the rocks.
Yeah, they
They're
are clever at that.
huge.
Good though, right? And I
Yeah,
loved Jason Momoa's character in the first one. Absolutely loved it. And then he basically saved their lives. He saved
yeah,
their whole existence.
yeah. I'm still not
Oh,
used to seeing. Sometimes I see him and like seeing him without a beard. I find it very weird to me. I don't know why.
I think it's weird for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's I don't mind it in this.
yeah,
Like just because he's so lovely. He loves Paul and he's just the absolute protector. Like he
yeah,
knew going into that he was going to die, and yet he
yeah.
was like,
Yeah,
I've
I've
got
got
to
to do
do
what I've
it.
got to do.
And I love Brolin. Because
Yeah,
again, another really good, like manly man.
yeah, yeah.
And
For some reason, he looked younger in this film than he normally does.
yeah, he's I think he looks after himself well, doesn't
Yeah,
he? But yeah, again, another really cool, you've got to be on the ball. You don't put your back to the room
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, where are we at? So, sports-wise this week. Remember last week, I know what I was excited about. You were off to see the Cherries, I believe, on Sunday.
Oh my God,
How
we've
did
had
it?
two amazing games.
All right, how's the day go?
Two amazing games. So, first game was Sunday.
Yeah.
Was us at home versus Sheffield United. So again, we're like about, I think we were about 9 points, 8 points clear of relegation. They're kind of still in the mix.
Yeah.
But we would like to think that we should get a win from that game, right? Especially at home. Oh, well, we went 2-0 down in the first half. Everyone's like,
Yeah.
however, Iraola made some changes and we managed to draw 2-2. Okay, so we didn't get the win, but we
Yeah.
did get something out of the game, and the changes were really good, made all the difference. So we were like, oh, okay, phew. Then on Wednesday, we had our rescheduled match against Luton. So when last time we played them at home, Tom Lockley, I'm so sorry if I've got his name wrong.
Yeah.
It's definitely Tom.
Okay.
He had cardiac arrest on the pitch at like
What?
the 59th minute. Yeah. His heart stopped for like 2.5 minutes.
Oh my God.
But the paramedics and their team managed to resuscitate him and get him
Yeah.
to Bournemouth Hospital. And so he's fine. It was the second time it's happened in his life. And so I don't believe he plays anymore.
Yeah.
But you know, the Bournemouth fans were really lovely, and I think they ended up paying for Luton's travel back down for
Okay.
for the replay, and tried to raise some money for Tom and his family and stuff.
Yeah.
Just because it was a really awful thing to
Of
see. Like
course.
again, he went down completely on his own. And it was the Bournemouth guys who were closest to him were like, oh my God, you've got to like get on the pitch now.
Yeah.
It was 1-1 at that point, and then there was a really long delay. Obviously, Tom was taken to hospital, and it was agreed. So obviously both players had scored at that point, but they
Yeah.
agreed the game would be cancelled. We replay. So both those players lost their goals, which means nothing in the grand
Yeah.
scheme of things. But still nice that they, you know,
Of
both
course.
players
Yeah.
agreed. That's their livelihoods again at the end of the day, isn't it?
It's crazy to me over the last few years how many players have actually had these sort of
Have happened,
attacks and
yeah.
stuff like that. And I don't know what's happening, because obviously they're younger, they're faster, they're more powerful than they ever
I
were.
know.
And they
They
seem
have
to be
drug
breaking
tests all the
down.
time, so it's not like they're taking anything that they shouldn't be taking. But I guess, well, it is just natural human defects, isn't it? Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was the replayed game on Wednesday, and he came out onto the pitch at the beginning, and obviously everybody was like, "Oh yeah, he's fine." So that was really nice.
Yeah.
And then we proceeded. Bearing in mind, Luton are like, you know,
Yeah.
again, bottom three, so we should be, you know, getting a win at home.
Of course. Yeah.
We proceeded to go 3-0 down in the first half. We were like, what is happening? Like, we were so buzzed with the selection. Like, on paper, our team was great.
Yeah.
Players slightly out of position to where they would play best, but even so, you're like, God, this is a really good team. This is going to be great. And then we literally just let them walk like 3 goals in,
Yeah.
and we're like, Jesus. And so at no point do you ever think you're coming back from that, right? I know we came back from 2 and got the draw, so that was the best we could hope for. We were like, look, at least give a good account of yourselves. I hate it when the team gets booed by either.
Yeah.
Like the away fans boo their own team, for example. But yeah, some people booed, and I hated that at halftime. But again, Iraola made some changes like straight away. Oh my goodness. We were like a different team in the second half.
Yeah.
And ended up winning 4-3.
Amazing. See, but this is the problem. Why I said to you, I struggle to watch football because I can't handle that kind of heartache. Like, it
Mate,
will
people
kill
I
it.
know left
It
at
used to
half
destroy
time.
me.
And then
Yeah.
were so gutted because I cannot tell you how happy. Even the first goal we scored, we were like, oh my God, it's amazing. We're going to win 4-3. Like,
Yeah.
not actually expecting that to happen. And it was just fantastic. The push, the effort, like the drive in the second half was completely different. And it was just amazing. The atmosphere was incredible. We're like the 20, only the 20, it hasn't happened in 21 years in the
Yeah.
Premiership. No club has come from 3-0 down to win.
Yeah.
With only like the 5th club in the whole of the history of the Prem to have done it. So little old Bournemouth making the history books again. I did feel sorry for Luton in a way, just because they looked so deflated at the end. But their fans cheered them like right at the end, and so they went over and they said thanks, and I was like, how nice is that? Like they could have got really, you know,
pretty
angry about it, and I was like, they gave their all because they didn't give up. They defended brilliantly in the first half. We literally could not get anything past them, and then obviously it was just a change of fortune, and I mean, we scored some really good goals, but wow, honestly, I was buzzing for
but
hours.
that's what you want. Obviously, if you can handle that kind of anxiety, you know what I mean, it's great. That's what football does for you. You know what I mean? It's like, it is insane. And obviously this week I did see that Arsenal were against Porto, Champions League, in the Champions League, and I know it went through to penalties. They scored one goal at the Emirates. It was then 1-1 on aggregate, went through, and final time went to penalties. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff, I couldn't cope. I couldn't cope.
I can't do it.
At least with like when I spoke to you last week, I said I was looking forward to like the UFC and stuff like that. See, that kind of thing I can handle, because that way I can analyze fighters, and I can kind of see what's going to happen. I like their style and stuff. And I was so excited to see the MVP had joined the UFC that I almost forgot that Anthony Joshua was fighting on Friday with a guy at the UFC former heavyweight champion, Francis Ngannou.
Double treats for you.
Double treats for me. So I don't know how I forgot about that, because I call him Mr. Steal Your Girl, Anthony Joshua, because for some reason he seems to be on everyone's bucket list. You know, he's just the guy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's the kind of thing where, you know, you go out with your girlfriend and Joshua's there, he could go over and, you know, and be like, yeah, I like your girlfriend. I'm taking her. Like, she's probably gonna go. And two, you probably can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many people would say no.
I maybe the odd 8%, maybe, of population.
Yeah. Those that like an emo style, you know, sort of slender chap.
Even then, like I think it'd be a tough no for them. So his fight took place.
Good. Did you watch it?
I did, yeah, I did. So his fight took place, and everyone was sort of a lot of people writ him off, and a lot of people do write off AJ. I don't know why. To me, since the Olympics, I've always been a fan of his. If he's in a fight, even if it's against another fighter that I quite like, I still have some reason have a soft spot for AJ to go on and do well, because to me he is like a prototype. He's a prototype boxer that I'd build in a game, so to speak. You know, obviously there's a lot of Tyson Fury fans. Tyson Fury is great, but for some reason they all say styles make fights, and I feel for some reason AJ has the tools, and a lot of people will disagree with me because of, you know, Tyson Fury is undefeated. AJ has been defeated, but I think, you know, a lot of times styles do make fights, and I think AJ would be a nightmare for Tyson Fury. But going back to Friday, his fight against the former UFC champion Francis Ngannou, who is huge, by the way. So AJ 6'6",
old and muscly.
And muscly, absolutely huge. I'll send you a photo of Francis later, or the two of them together, because Francis is about 6'5". He outweighed Joshua by about 20 pounds. So I'm guessing Francis would probably walk into the fight at like 20 stone. Joshua went in about like maybe I'd say 18 and a half, 19 stone. The fight only lasted 2 rounds. Completely unexpected, because Ngannou's last fight was against Tyson Fury. He took Tyson Fury all the way to 10 rounds, and probably anyone might know, took it to 10 rounds, and he actually knocked Tyson Fury down, which opened doors to this fight happening, because before AJ wasn't interested in these sort of like exhibition fights.
Yeah.
But due to that, I think AJ saw opportunity. Obviously, it's out in Saudi Arabia, so they're making more money than
Yeah,
Christ.
crazy money.
And first round, it started. I know a lot of people had a lot of anticipation of what's going to happen. AJ walked in there like, this is my ring. This is my sport. You might be a former UFC champion. On the streets, you may kill me because you have all these other techniques. But in the boxing ring, on the boxing rules, this is my house.
Yeah.
Literally in the first round, it's going, AJ's feeling them out. Ngannou's like just sort of just trying to get to him. AJ throws this right hand, knocks him down. I'm telling you, you could have heard a pin drop.
Like a side one?
No, over the top, right hand straight into the face. Fury hit Ngannou hit the floor. That's never happened to him. I watch UFC, he doesn't get knocked down.
Even when people are kicking him?
Nothing. The only way they take him down normally is like by grabbing his legs, taking him to the ground, holding him down. That's it.
Have they ever like measured like what the force is of someone of his like weight?
I think they said that Ngannou's the hardest hitter, and it said it was like being hit by like I think it's been hit by a truck, pretty much. That they said they're trying to measure the impact of how hard he hit you.
Flipping
so
out.
That's what everyone was worried about if he hit, because AJ's been hit before and AJ's gone down, and they're thinking if he gets one, because Ngannou's always got that element of one hit, you're finished. So people are thinking because AJ does get hit, if he gets hit by Ngannou, that's it. AJ did not get hit in this fight.
Oh wow!
Nothing substantial. Second round comes along, AJ is just dancing around again, keeping him away, hits him with a left. France's legs give out. Hits the floor, bounces him. Again, you could hear a pin drop in the crowd. I'm sure MMA fans were like, what is going on here? Like, how is this happening to this giant? He gets up after a 10 count. Potentially could have ended the fight there.
Yeah.
Joshua walks over, measures him up, right hand. France's legs stay still. He bends backwards.
No!
Out cold.
Like in the cartoons?
It was insane. I held my breath because he did not move.
Oh no.
I like both fighters. So
yeah.
I didn't want him to.
Well, I wouldn't ever want anybody to get like brain damage or not wake up from something. That's the worst.
Yeah. I didn't want these two to fight in the first place because like they're both like from Africa, they're both huge giant men. Like they're just like huge, they're like heroes to like, young kids sort of thing.
Yeah.
You just don't want, it's kind of like you never want to see, it's like when you saw like Captain America and Iron Man face off in Civil War. You're like,
nobody likes that.
you don't, it's cool to watch, you don't want to see it.
Yeah.
And especially the way Ngannou hit the floor. And like I said, I waited. I wanted to jump up and sort of like go, oh my God. Everyone sort of reacted, like, oh my God. But like, because I like him as a fighter, I didn't sort of move until I saw that he was getting to his feet and stuff like that. Because it was just...
Imagine what that feels like.
It was such a savage punch.
And I never want to experience it, FYI. Don't suddenly punch me in the street. It's not a wish.
Luckily, Francis does that to everyone he fights, pretty much. So for him to be on the receiving end is like, what the hell?
Did they stop it after that?
That was it. Oh, there was no carrying on.
Yeah.
There was no 10 count. You could have counted to 100. He was not getting up.
Oh, God. Okay.
He was not getting up. But luckily, he got up and, proceeded forward. And Anthony Joshua was like really respectful of his
like, in your face, sucker!
No, he wasn't like that at all. He wasn't like that at all, which was really admirable. Whereas some fighters would have like really relished in it. He just sort of like, he really tried to raise him up and told him not to
come in.
Yeah, he tried to raise him up and told him not to give up, so to speak.
Oh, that's nice.
So
I imagine if Anthony Joshua went into the UFC thing, he'd get absolutely crushed. So
seconds. Obviously, if it's against a stand-up guy, cool. But no one who in the UFC, there's so much more range of what they can do.
Yeah.
there's no one who's just going to stand and trade with Anthony Joshua.
Elbow, knee,
Yeah, yeah,
chin,
yeah. They'll just do that. They'll
chin.
take him to the ground and like literally
Choke him out.
Exactly. Obviously, he's a huge man. I mean, he might be able to do something, but like generally, him in the UFC octagon is game over.
Yeah.
Speaking of UFC, obviously, I said I was looking forward to MVP, our guy from Comic Con.
Oh.
He got the win,
Oh,
which was
brilliant.
great against a guy called Kevin Holland. Expected to be a very I thought it'd be a more competitive fight, but it proved how good he still is. And he even got a time to like dance around in the ring a little bit, take the piss, all the things that he was like he's known for.
Yeah.
Right now, that's good, but I think as he moves up in the UFC, he might have to calm that down because there are guys who can really. Because MVP is not really a wrestler, but there's guys in the UFC who are wrestlers who will probably just grab his legs when he's trying to dance, and it could be a very long night. I'm hoping his career projection like goes a bit slowly. The fights are more well measured.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna have to go up against these top 6 absolute animals. But it's nice to see him there. And, it was good to see.
He can build his way there though, can't he?
He had a really cool entrance. He came out first to like the Undertaker's music.
Oh my god.
Dun, 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 like from wrestling.
And Roman Reigns, just saying.
Yeah. That's one thing I know I was going to say. I have got so much into wrestling recently. It's crazy. Obviously, The Rock's back, which has just made it fantastic.
What?
But recently, yeah, he's back now. He's been back for about a month.
Wrestling or presenting?
Wrestling. Well, he hasn't wrestled. He hasn't wrestled yet, but he's helping with promotions. But we'll come back to wrestling another time. But yeah, I've been getting myself back into it again, just simply because it's for some reason this year or the last year has been really nostalgic. With loads of things that everything just resurging like the 90s, early 2000s, and it's really good because it just brings that feeling back, especially for like people who love pop culture and on the geeky side. It's fantastic. And so a few of the fights, a guy called Dustin Poirier, he's a fighter that I quite like as well. He fought this absolute French savage, and somehow he was supposed to get destroyed. I think they set this up, and he knocked the guy out.
Oh wow!
Yeah, some guy called Saint-Denis, like he's a ex sort of special services French police and all sorts of things. He's an absolute animal, and Dustin Poirier knocked him out, and I was just like, hey, wow,
fair play.
And a guy called Sugar Sean, he beat some guy called Chito Vera, which was a good fight. Last time they fought, Chito beat him, damaged his leg quite badly. This time, Sugar's the champion, and Sugar just dominated the whole fight, which was good. But yeah, me, I love my fighting. I don't know how this looks on camera, the way you're the ones talking about football, and I'm not. It's like who cares? Anyway,
who cares?
All right, today I want to play. This is not really a game, but I sent you some screenshots, and I think this is a segment that we could put in going forward. And I'll post the screenshot on our screen somewhere so people at home can have a look. And I'll also give the audio description for those who are listening and not watching. So I think the first screenshot I sent you, let me just bring it up, was, I believe,
Mr. Murphy.
Yeah, Cillian Murphy reportedly in the run-in to play
winner, Cillian Murphy.
Oh yes, he did for Oppenheimer.
Absolutely, yeah. Fair play. Fair play.
Yeah. So, Cillian Murphy been in the run-in to be James Bond. What do you think? Do you think he'd make a good Bond?
Oh, it's a tricky one. Because I know he was with Florence Pugh in Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
And I watched Peaky Blinders and I absolutely loved it. And I know he liked his lady.
Yeah.
I've never really seen him because obviously I'm happy that he could be guns and, you know, fighting and drive cars and stuff, right? But there's always that little, you have to have that like little romantic thing or that little, oh,
a little bit of edge.
am I going to sleep with her or am I not?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna sleep with that one as well, or am I not? I don't know. I don't know. Like, I do find him really attractive at times.
Yeah.
Would I want him to be? It's not like he needs to be muscly, right? James Bond was never. I mean, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
'cause
We've had some lovely walk out of the
yeah,
water, you know.
like Roger Moore and those sort of guys, they went and
But yeah, they weren't right. They were just
yeah,
more suits.
yeah. Who was the one before Pierce Brosnan? There was it Pierce Brosnan?
Well, you had Roger Moore, Sean
Sean
Connery,
Connery was like the
Timothy
biggest.
Dalton.
Andy Dalton, yeah, he wasn't very necessarily muscly,
No,
you know, but he was
I
very
don't know
smooth.
if he has. And I do think that what was the latest one? Who was the latest one?
Daniel Craig,
Yeah, he kind of broke the mold a little bit with
yeah,
his blondiness
blondiness, but he was built
and
like
a
a
little bit
tank.
shorter than what we were
Yeah,
used to. But I
yeah,
fit well. I was happy with it. He has that kind of suave,
yeah,
slightly, you know, that confidence. Um, and it might be that I've just not seen him play a character quite
yeah,
like that because the confidence that he had in Peaky Blinders was a totally different
yeah,
mental kind of confidence.
yeah,
And he was very protected by the family, you know,
yeah,
whereas Bond is kind of out there on his own. I know he's got all
yeah,
his gadgets, but those people aren't in the field with him. And so
yeah.
I'm
I
not
think
sure.
I think for me, I don't know. Again, I agree with what you're saying. I haven't seen him in enough roles to show that he could be that main
Yeah.
guy in that kind of role,
Mm.
unless they changed the style of how they did this Bond and made it more of a maybe like a more street level,
Yeah.
underground sort of. Made it like almost when they went down like the road of like maybe like Snatch or something like that. Was it Snatch or Fight Club?
Yeah.
If they did more of sort of a really down to earth, like grounded Bond, I could
Yeah.
see him doing that. But super like action packed stuff, you know,
Mm.
and the suave, I can't see the suaveness come out of him.
I
He
know
may
me
be able to do it.
either.
He's a great actor. He's obviously just won an Oscar, but I don't know if he can if
Yeah,
he could pull
I'm
it
not
off.
sure. Especially when you think the likes of Idris Elba and
Yeah,
before his life went downhill, the what was his name? I can't think what his name was. Um the certain type of people were
yeah,
touted almost physique wise, and he just
yeah,
doesn't fit that.
yeah.
And not that that's wrong. I'm totally
Mm,
happy that, you know, everyone's different, but
yeah.
when there's a
I'd, I,
particular
I'd,
character, you almost don't
I'd
want them to
put
change too much, right?
Yeah, I'd put maybe my top pick probably maybe be like Luke Evans.
Yeah.
He can play that sort of. He has that suaveness. He's got a nice size
Mm.
to him. You know, I think he. I think for me, I think he'd be the one.
Yeah. I think because I've just never really seen again, and he might have done lots of roles where he's hand fought people
Yeah, yeah,
because I can see the last
yeah.
one was
I
good
don't know.
at that
Yeah,
sort of stuff. And you because
him
it's
hand
very
fighting.
personal when
Yeah,
it's Bond, isn't it? It's very close
exactly.
up.
Yeah, that's why I
Danger.
think. That's why I think his fighting style would probably be more like um, a Fight Club.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I could almost see him like, you
Yeah,
know, just trousers,
yeah, yeah,
dirty white things around his hands, like,
yeah,
you know, slightly like curved
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of body, you know,
So
that sort of
that's
rather
where
than
I'd put that Bond. All right. Next up, this screenshot I sent you was pick a mask. So, for those of you just listening, I'm gonna put a screenshot up for guys who are watching. So you pick a mask and you get their powers. There was Wolverine, Spider-Man, Spawn, The Flash, The Mask, Jason Voorhees, Iron Man, Darth Vader, or the Green Ranger.
what is Jason doing in there?
I have
Oh, I
no
have
idea.
like a superpower of killing people and hiding behind bushes and not getting caught.
Well,
Absolutely not.
Well, he is pretty immortal, so
He
maybe
does
that
deserve to
could
be
be
there.
his thing.
Okay, so mine,
Yeah,
like Wolverine's one of my favorite characters,
yeah,
and I would love to be able to regenerate. That would be well cool because
yeah,
then you wouldn't be so fearful. But again, unless you were up against, baddies
yeah,
all the time, you're not really going to use your stuff,
yeah,
I think. Whereas Iron Man,
yeah.
I could jetpack off to go and see my sister and my mum or my
Whenever
dad.
you want. Yeah, whenever you'd be a
I'll be
genius.
there in 20. I'll be there in
Yeah,
20
yeah.
every weekend.
You'd be a super genius. Yeah,
Yeah. I did think about Spidey because I thought, oh, that would be fun. I could maybe like
yeah,
swing my way there. But it would be kind of quicker, I think, to Iron Man there.
yeah.
And I do love him. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, I do obviously I love the Flash. In regards to his power set. Not necessarily he's my favorite superhero, but to be able to have super speed, get anywhere you want in the blink of an eye.
God, I could get to Nuki quicker as the Flash. What was I thinking?
Yeah. So, and then obviously I used to love the film. I love the film The Mask.
Hmm.
So obviously he could do some really wacky things. He was bulletproof. He was crazy, but then obviously it adapts to your personality. So
Mm.
I don't really. I think my personality is all right, but I don't know what might come out.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a bit all or nothing either way.
Yeah, and I do like Spawn. Spawn's pretty cool.
I've not watched Spawn, so I
Yeah,
couldn't really comment on that one. Yeah, I left that one out. Jason, ugh, you're literally like a human killer. Go away.
yeah, like the
Um,
Green Ranger. Darth Vader was in there. I'm like, but
yeah,
no, I think I'm gonna go for my lifestyle
I do not want what Darth has going on underneath though.
underneath. Yeah,
I
I
know you
think
get his powers and not necessarily his like burnt face,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. Yeah, I think for my lifestyle and things that I do and things I like doing, I'm gonna choose the Flash because
yeah, you need to get to London quickly
I need to
and
get
back.
London
So
quick.
yeah,
So I think I'll choose the Flash.
okay. I'll still go Iron Man so that we've got a different choice.
Yeah, so people watching, people let us know who you would choose out of those masks and to get the powers. All right, last screenshot I sent you was a bunch of movies. Okay, I'll put the screenshot up and I'll read it out for those
In
who are
VHS, may I add?
in VHS. So, man, picture this. It's a Friday. It's it's the 90s. You've got enough escape. You've ordered your takeaway. You're gonna sit down. You've potentially been to Blockbuster if these have just come out.
Mhm.
Which three are you choosing? So I'm gonna read them out. What we got here is Mrs. Doubtfire, Mr. Nanny, The Mask. Actually, we mentioned it there. Small Soldiers, Blank Check, The Wizard, Three Ninjas, Problem Child 2,
Ugh, evil little Chucky looking thing.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, or Ernest Goes to Jail.
Okay.
So pick three out of those movies.
Okay, so for my movie marathon,
Yeah.
I would I would definitely pick Mrs. Doubtfire. Love that film, even though the kids are really annoying. He is just I love him. I love him in it. So yeah, definitely Mrs. Doubtfire, classic.
Yeah.
I would also pick The Mask. I think we all fell in love with Cameron Diaz and her like was that her first role ever? Like major role?
Uh, I would say that's the first one where anyone took notice of her. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It is good fun, wacky, a bit different. Love the little dog.
Yeah.
So I do The Mask, and then my last one, I would pick Small Soldiers.
Yeah. Great film.
Yeah, really, really good.
All
Tempted
right.
with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but no, I'll
Yeah,
go.
not the third one.
Not number 3. Yeah. What about you?
All right. So for me, I would go with uh going back to the 90s, favorite film character what I was into at that time, I'll go with Mr. Nanny, Hulk Hogan. You know, at the time he was one of the biggest stars on earth. Yeah. Film was terrible, but at the time I thought it was great. I'm gonna go with The Mask, same as you, because The Mask was an absolute classic.
Yeah, it was great fun.
You know, Jim Carrey at his early best.
Mm.
And lastly, did like Mrs. Doubtfire. Three Ninjas was cool, but I did like Ernest.
Oh,
Ernest was fun.
did
So
he get out of jail?
yeah, he did. He did.
Good.
And he didn't get into too much trouble while he was in there either. So I'm gonna go with Ernest Goes to Jail.
Cool.
All right. That was fun. So I think we'll put
That's
that in
good.
each time. We'll grab some screenshots. You grab some, I'll grab some, and then we'll post them up
Yes.
and we'll have a chat about them.
Awesome.
All right. I think we'll wrap it up today. We'll wrap it there. All right. It was great catching up with you. Hopefully
Yes, and you.
we'll do another one soon. Everyone
Sounds
will
good.
everyone can follow us on all the usual channels. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube,
Are we on
and
TikTok?
TikTok, yep, and Spotify, of course. I'll post the links everywhere, and everyone, thanks for joining us. Thanks, lovely to see you again, Debs.
Yes, you too. Have a lovely rest of your weekend to you and
Okay.
everyone.
Yep, I'm going to watch Dune 2 shortly.
Oh, yes. Oh, well, you can do your review like I did then next
I'll
time.
do my review next week. All right.
Awesome.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Remember, follow us on all channels. This should be posted soon. Everyone, be good. And if you can't be good, be the best at being bad. Bye.